Afternoon on this Sunday afternoon inside the Triad for Winston-Salem Dash baseball. The Dash are playing for a sweep over the Wilmington Blue Rocks as the Winston-Salem Dash come in 49-68, 24-28 in the second half, as the Blue Rocks come in 50-68, 20-33 in half number two. Winston-Salem still with a ton on the table, currently 2.5 games back of all three teams that are atop the South Atlantic South. Bowling Green, Greenville, and Hub City all sit at the top with records of 27-26. And then there's Winston-Salem, who's 24-28, just 2.5 games back. Up north, it's a little bit different. Greensboro leads the way by a game and a half over Hudson Valley. Greensboro is 36-17 right now. Hudson Valley is 34-18. And then there's Wilmington all the way down at the bottom, 16 games out, pretty much mathematically eliminated from postseason contention. So they're just hoping to play some spoiler tonight. This afternoon, Winston-Salem is playing for a sweep. If they can get the win, not only would it extend their largest winning streak of the season, which is 5 games, it would also be the first sweep of the season for them and the first since 2023. They swept the Greenville Drive-In actually around the same time as now, late August, 8:15 to 8:20 back in 2023. They swept the Drive for their lone sweep in the last 2 years. Let's talk about how we got here. Yesterday, Winston-Salem won 9-5. They out-hit Wilmington 9-5 as well. It started in the bottom of the first. They score 4 runs, do the Dash, and then score in the next 4 innings. The first 5 innings include offense, and it was a great day for the offense for the Dash. 3 hits for TJ McCants, 2 for Kyle Lodis, a pair of runs scored by Gerald Perez, and a pair driven in by Alec Makarevich. Led the way for Winston-Salem. On the hill, Lucas Gordon wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. 4 1/3 innings of work. He gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. All of them were earned. The only thing he struggled with was his walks. 3 walks to just a strikeout. On the other side, it was Meckley for the Blue Rocks. He went 3 innings of work, gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, only 6 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a homer in his 19 batters that he saw. Tonight, it will be Dylan Cumming, the righty, with a 3-4 record, a 4.85 ERA, and the right-hander, Davian Garcia. These two started the week back on Tuesday. They're back at it today on Sunday. First pitch is 13 minutes away. We'll get you around the White Sox system, and then starting lineups. That's on the way when we come back.
Hey, what are we doing after the game? How about some beer?
Back inside Truist Stadium, 1:49 local time. Baseball is 10 minutes away. Both the managers are headed out to home plate. For the Wilmington Blue Rocks, that's Jake Lowry, and for the Winston-Salem Dash, that's Pat Leland. The Dash are the affiliates of the White Sox. The Blue Rocks are the affiliates of the Nats. We're playing high A baseball this afternoon. Let's get you caught up around the Chicago White Sox system first. Starting at the top, Chicago won last night, 7-3 over Minnesota. They'll go for another win today as they round out a 3-game set against the Twins. That game starts at 2:10, a little bit after us. Charlotte coming off a loss yesterday. They'll round out a 6-game set with the Norfolk Tides. They are 21-28 right now, 13.5 games back in 11th place in the International East. Their game actually already got started at 1:05. They're in Game 6 of that 6-game series. In the Southern League North, the Birmingham Barons are 35-15, 10 games in front of Rocket City. They won last night 2-1 in 11 innings, and they'll put a bow and ribbon on that 6-game set tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern. And let's round it out with the Kannapolis Cannonballers, a team that won yesterday 5-1 over the Delmarva Shorebirds. They're 22-31 right now, but they again are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. 5th place in the Carolina League South, 15.5 games back. They'll round out the series today at 5:05 p.m. That takes care of business for what's going on around the Chicago White Sox system. As the 2 managers depart with the starting lineups in hand, that's what we bring you next when we return from this break. Starting lineup, starting pitching, and then baseball on the other side of this break. It's Game 6 of a 6-game series between the Wilmington Blue Rocks and the Winston-Salem Dash. The Dash are red hot. They've won their last 5. They play for a series sweep this afternoon. And while we got the time, let's get you the starting lineups for today's ball game that starts in about 7 minutes from now. Let's start with the Wilmington Blue Rocks. The top 2 have been the same really all week long. Elijah Nunez will lead things off and play out in right field. Juan Yepes, the rehabbing major leaguer, will bat second and be the designated hitter. Brandon Pimentel is the first baseman. He bats third. TJ White is playing left field, and he cleans things up. Cortland Lawson is at second base. He bats fifth. Dante Williams is in center. He bats sixth. Nate Rombach is the catcher. He bats seventh. Marcus Brown bats eighth and plays at third. Armando Cruz is batting ninth and playing short. Nunez, Yepes, Pimentel, White, Lawson, Williams, Rombach, Brown, and Cruz for the Wilmington Blue Rocks. And their starter is Davian Garcia. The right-hander is coming off of a tough outing in the start of the week. He went against Dylan Cumming to start off the week. For the Winston-Salem Dash, it's Sammy Zavala leading things off and playing out in center field. Joral Perez is the designated hitter. He bats second. Alec Makarevich is the third baseman. He bats third. Cole McConnell is out in left field. He cleans things up and bats fourth. Kyle Odis is the shortstop. He bats fifth. He's been a fun bat to watch. He homered yesterday. TJ McCants is batting sixth and playing out in right field. Jackson Appel is the switch-hitting catcher. He will bat seventh. Lyle Miller Green is over at first. He bats eighth. And Miguel Santos will round it out, batting ninth and playing second. Zavala, Perez, Makarevich, McConnell, Odis, McCants, Appel, Miller Green, and Santos for Winston-Salem. On the hill for them, it's Dylan Cumming. The righty comes in with a 3-4 record, a 4.85 ERA. He's coming off one of his better starts of the year, though. 5 innings of work. He gave up 2 hits, just a run allowed, and 4 strikeouts his last time out. He actually saw this Wilmington Blue Rock team. That came on the 19th of August. That was on Tuesday. Told you he also saw Davian Garcia, and I also told you that the Dash took home the win in that one. Let's take a look at how Garcia did on Tuesday. He comes in with a 2025 record of 5-5, a 3.43 ERA. This will be his 19th start of the season. And on Tuesday, Garcia was pretty shaky. He went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. All of them were earned. He did give up a homer as well. He hit a batter, and he also walked 2. Also struck out a pair of Dash players, though. Took the loss in that one, and it's been a pretty tough month of August for Garcia. He's 0-2 this month with an 8.22 ERA, and in those 7 2/3 innings of work, he's given up 10 hits and 7 runs. Looks like we are just about set to get underway for some baseball on a Sunday afternoon. Here in the Triad, you could not have scripted a better day for some baseball. Weather is pretty calm. There's a little bit of a breeze. There's sunshine splashed on the field. We're ready to play some baseball. Dash are playing for a series sweep. It would be their first since 2023. A sweep would also pay dividends for them in the playoff hunt. They come in 2.5 games back of the top spot in the South Atlantic South. Bit of a standstill in the ballpark right now as we await the Winston-Salem Dash to take the field. And then it's time for national anthem and first pitch right here inside Truist Stadium. Once again, it's Game 6 of a 6-game series. The Winston-Salem Dash, who will come in with a 24-28 second-half record, and the Wilmington Blue Rocks, who come in 20-33 in half number 2. It looks like the Dash are taking the field. Out to the mound goes Dylan Cumming, as well as his teammates. It's also the mascot Bolt's birthday today. We'll see if Winston-Salem can pick up a win for him. They play for a sweep on the other side of this break. We'll get you baseball when we return. Dash in front here 1-0 as Sammy Zavala will check in for a third time. First pitch to him is a fastball that's just below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Luis Cohen goes back to work after running into a little bit of trouble in his first inning of the 5th. The 1-0 to Sammy Z. That one's in there for a called strike. Sammy Zavala with the single extended the on-base streak to 29 games. He has been magnificent in the leadoff spot. And takes this one in the dirt for a ball, 2-1. For Sammy Z, the 29-game on-base streak, it's good enough for second longest active in all of High A, and of course leads Winston-Salem. But he has done a magnificent job setting the tone as a leadoff batter. Takes a 2-1 off speed down the middle for a called strike, 2-2. obviously, this is far and in between, but Winston-Salem 15-9 when Sammy Z is in the leadoff spot for lineups. As he taps a 2-2 back in the air towards left field, Rodriguez gives a hand out to his center fielder, makes a play moving to his left, and retires Sammy Z.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 7, Gerald Perez.
Speaking of setting the tone, that's exactly what Gerald Perez did in the bottom of the first. His solo shot still stands alone as the lone run of the ball game. It was a monster shot, almost to the top of the grass berm and left. First pitch to Perez. Hammered again, deep left field. Back goes Rodriguez at the track, at the wall. He will leap and make a grab. You've got to be kidding me. Ferry Rodriguez crashing into the LED sign out there, and he appears to be hurt. Makes a whale of a play, running with his back to the infield. Somehow had a beat on that baseball. That was stung 100 off the bat of Perez, who has stood with his hands on his hips right in front of second base. He can't believe it.
Well, those are the types of heroics that you have to bring out in such a tight game. 1-0 Winston-Salem, still anybody's ball game, and so Rodriguez takes a bit of a risk going head-to-head with that LED wall that's only guarded by some metal fencing. And so if you take a tumble into it like he did, it can rough you up a little bit. But he's on 2 feet now, and they're checking him out.
How bad do these two teams want to go to the playoffs,
Yeah,
huh?
no kidding. I mean, both teams really have a lot to fight for. Greenville, of course, right now near the top of an extremely tight Southern League South division, just 2 games back. That's tied with Bowling Green, who already clinched their playoff berth in the first half. So really, it's just Greenville clawing toward the top against Hub City, who's 2 games ahead in first.
32-28 are the Spartanburgers as Rodriguez is taking a couple of warm-up jogs, gets a high five from his manager and his center fielder. They're fired up after that play and left, and how could you not be? A heroic play to rob Gerald Perez of what appeared to be extra bases for certain. And so now there's 2 gone in the home side of the 6th. Remember, Winston-Salem still in front 1-0 and still with playoff aspirations of their own. They've got a lot to do, take it 1 game at a time. First things first, a win in 4 of the 6 here would do numbers, and then they need Hub City to also drop a couple games to the Rome Emperors. For Winston-Salem, though, a team that is 28-31, as Alec Makarevich swings over the top of a slider, 0-1. A chance to finish with an above 500 record for the season. If they win 5 games, they would finish 33-32. If they win 4, they finish 500 in the second half. 0-1 to AMAC. It's at the shoe tops for a ball, 1-1. Makarevich struck out in his last at-bat, part of a trio of strikeouts in the bottom of the 4th. 1-1 is outside for a ball, 2-1.
Right now, by the way, Hub City trails 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th against the Rome Emperors.
We'll keep an eye on that all week as the 2-1 to AMAC is at the shoe tops for another ball and another changeup, 3-1. Hitters friendly to Alec Makarevich. He had 4 homers in the month of August. 3-1 pitch. He'll take the walk. The free pass is his first time on base tonight, and he tries to get a 2-out rally going in the bottom of the 6th, a 1-0 Winston-Salem lead.
And would you not just love to see Kyle Lodi's knock one over the wall right here?
Yeah. All 3 of his pro ball home runs have been in this ballpark. They've also all been over the left field wall. We will certainly keep an eye out. Swings at a first pitch changeup, but comes up empty, 0-1.
Well, that's definitely one you'd like to get underneath. Breaking ball toward the top of the zone.
No balls and a strike to the dash shortstop, Kyle Lodis. Swings and misses at a slow-moving slider at 78 miles an hour. It's 0-2. One thing I've noticed with Lodis is so stereotypically you want the high pitches to get under. He's a guy who loves to drop to a knee.
Yep.
0-2. Takes it for a called strike 3 right on the outside corner. A pretty pitch to send away the 6th. Dash lead at 1-0. When we come back, Andrew Murphy takes over for the final 3 innings. Dash in front by a run. We'll see you on the other side of this break. Winston-Salem and the Blue Rocks locked in a good one. 1-1 our score as we head to the top of the 4th. Gage Zeal, the righty, goes back to work from the wind. A first pitch breaking ball misses way upstairs to TJ White, the left fielder, 1-0. TJ White was in the batter's box when the top of the 3rd came to a close. And the 1-0 is a breaking ball. This one a little bit closer to the strike zone, but also high, 2-0. Like I mentioned, White was in the batter's box before the unassisted play by Jackson Appel sent down McKenzie as he half-heartedly swings at this one, 2-1. The nice play by the Dash catcher silenced what was a bases-loaded, nobody-out jam for Gage Zeal. The 2-1 is tapped foul behind him, 2-2. But the Blue Rocks got into a bases-loaded situation. They only score 1. It was on a sac fly from Caleb Lomavita. Sent that one out to center field. Here's a 2-2 to TJ White. It's on the way. This one sent out to the outfield, right field. High in the air, McCants has plenty of time to set up shop and make a one-handed grab. Three straight fly ball outs for Gage Zeal, who has really calmed down. 56 now pitches into tonight's game. He's only allowed 1 run on 4 hits. He's only walked a guy, and he's also struck out a batter. Jeremy De La Rosa stands in from the left side. Big swing and a miss at a breaking ball. A good-looking one. It's 0-1. Gage Zeal's off speeds, they really need to be talked about a lot more throughout his time in the minors, as this is a cutter, his fastest pitch in his arsenal, 88 miles an hour. It goes by for a ball, 1-1. But those breaking balls, think about it on a graph. You start at the center of the graph, as the 1-1 is that cutter. It's fouled back, 1-2. But you start at the center of a graph. It's fouled back, 1-2. But you start at the center of a graph. The side on a fantastic play in shallow right field. That is not something you see every day. Gage Zeal sends away the 4th in order. We'll see you in the bottom side of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th rolls around on a Thursday evening. First pitch to the shortstop. Kyle Lodis is called strike 1. Eric Swan, the righty, goes back to work. We're locked in a good one. 1-1 our score right here inside Truist Stadium. It's Game 3 of the 6-game series between the Blue Rocks and the Dash. 0-1 is in the dirt, make it 1-1 on a skipped slider to Kyle Lodis. Count runs even at a ball and a strike to the Dash shortstop. Already working on a walk and a stolen bag so far tonight. The 1-1 is in there for a called strike. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball right at the knees on the inside corner, 1-2. Lodis in his last 10, just 5 hits, a 156 average. Like we talked about, trying to get it together at the plate. 1-2, leaves it alone. Check swing, appeal down to first base. No dice, says the field umpire, Robert Bonet. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Just underway here in the bottom of the 4th of a 1-1 game. Winston-Salem and the Blue Rocks here in Game 3 of a 6-game series. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kyle Lodis awaits in the righty batter's box as Swan floats in a breaking ball, nearly got him upstairs. Lodis had to duck out of the way, and the counts run full. Struggling in his last 10, his last 5 have been a lot better. 267 average for the newest member of Winston-Salem, drafted this year, 2025. 3-2 is in the dirt, ball 4. He walked him again.
That's another free pass for Lodis. Walks are brought to you by
Lodis starts off the bottom of the 4th with a free pass, and he's aboard for a second time tonight. Already a swipe bag to his name. And the Dash are looking to jump out in front. 1-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th, a very picturesque Thursday evening here in the Triad. We have had a ton, and I mean 7 or 8 straight days of beautiful weather here in Winston-Salem. First pitch, a fastball to Jackson Appel, 0-1. 80 degrees, golden hour here in the Triad. A soft breeze at 3 miles an hour from the southeast. Fans enjoying the day as the 0-1 is lifted out of play and foul. Lodice was on the move from first to second, but it's fouled out of play, and it's 0-2 to Jackson Appel. The Dash catcher also worked to walk his first time up, then was part of a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Here comes an 0-2 to the switch-hitting catcher. It's in the dirt. Good take on a changeup at 90 miles an hour. You can tell that Eric Swan's stuff in terms of the velo and the movement and all of that is much higher than high A material. But in terms of his location, in terms of limiting damage, that's kind of where he's struggled, not only tonight, but in his time with the Wilmington Blue Rocks as he goes over and checks on the runner at first base, but Lodice is back with a headlong slide. He went 4 innings his last time out, gave up 8 hits and 6 runs, all of them allowed to Jersey Shore. Took the loss in that one as the 1-2's on the ground, could be to right side. Lawson fields, flips it over to second for 1. There will not be a throw made to first. Lodice is called out at the bag there, and that's how there's 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-1 our score.
Next up for the Dash, right fielder number 5, T.J. McCann.
Jackson Appel is aboard on the fielder's choice. T.J. McCann's a guy who grounded into a double play not too long ago. He'll stand in the lefty batter's box. But before that 4 innings at Jersey Shore, he was at Aberdeen with Wilmington as the righty fires in a fastball that's fouled away, 0-1. And against Aberdeen, he also had his fair share of struggles. 4 and 2 innings of work, 4 hits, 2 runs. Only 1 of them was earned, and he struck out 7 batters, also walked 3. He comes into tonight 0-2 with Wilmington, 4-5 on the year. 0-1 is on the ground right side in fair territory. A step at the bag, Pimentel there. Throw to second is in time for the out. The tag by Cruz at the second base bag retires the twin killing, and it is the 3rd of the game. 3 of the 4 innings have come to a close with that right there. We'll go to the 5th, not at 1. We'll see in just a minute. It's the top of the 5th inning, and we have a good one on our hands. 1-1 our score, Blue Rocks and Dash as Gage Zeal goes back to work. The righty from the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Marcus Brown fans and misses at that breaking ball. It's 0-1 to the third baseman tonight for the Blue Rocks. The righty Zeal back into the wind, and the 0-1 is another swing and a miss. This time the cutter at 89. It's 0-2. Gage Zeal has sat down his last 4 in a row. Make it 5 if you loop in a sac fly to Caleb Lomavita. That was back in the 3rd. Here's the 0-2. Cutter inside, 90 miles an hour, one of the fastest we've seen tonight, but it's inside for a ball, 1-2. Marcus Brown, like I said, the third baseman is 0 for 1 so far tonight on the ropes of 0 for 2. Here's the 1-2. On the ground, just behind the bag at first and foul. In his last 10, Marcus Brown, not the best. 6 hits, a triple. Just a 162 average in that time. 3 hits in his last 5, though. As the 1-2's off the end of the bat, rolling foul, and it just hops over the bag behind first. Makarevich gloves and tosses it over to his first base dugout. We stay 1-2. 1-1 ball game, top of the 5th. Sun is almost all but gone here in downtown Winston-Salem as the fans really content here inside Truist Stadium. It's a good day for some baseball. The 1-2 from Zeal. Another foul ball. 3rd straight off the bat of Marcus Brown. The 8-hole hitter in tonight's lineup did not play yesterday. Did not play the first game after yesterday's 1 for 4. He rolls this one to the right side of second base. Over there is the shortstop, Lodice. The throw takes Makarevich off the bag. And a rare error made by the Dash infielder, on the left side of the infield, that is. That puts a runner aboard with nobody out. The E6 most likely gives the Wilmington Blue Rocks just their 2nd leadoff runner aboard all game long. And it means Gage Zeal is going to have to take care of business with a runner aboard. Good news for him, it's the bottom of the order. Bad news, it's Armando Cruz, who singled his last time up. Showing bunt, pulls back, curveball floats high, ball 1, 1-0. Marcus Brown over at first. He reached on an E6, the first of the game for Winston-Salem. They made a pair of errors last night in their win. 6-3 the final yesterday, 5-1 on Tuesday. Here's the 1-0. Bunt shown, pulled back, called strike, throw to first is not in time. The backdoor tag is just late. Brown's back safely. Winston-Salem looking to clinch a split of the 3-game series with a win tonight. They can do that. Also keep their playoff hopes alive. More on that in a second. 1-1. Bunt is fouled back here into the net. 1-2. Winston-Salem right now sits 4.5 games behind the top of the South Atlantic South. Leading the second half of play, that's the Greenville Drive at 26-24. Everyone's kind of in that 500 or so mix. The Dash tonight, well, they're looking for second half win number 22. The 1-2 is in the dirt. Obviously no bunt attempt that time by Armando Cruz. It's in the dirt though, like I said, 2-2. Zeal trying to again limit the damage. This will be his 73rd pitch of the ball game. Here it comes. This one's lifted in the air to left. McConnell has a beat on it, and now the baseball for out number 1. Sharp line drive at 98 miles an hour. That's out number 1 with the runner on first. 1-1 ball game in the top of the 5th as the Wilmington Blue Rocks turn the lineup card back over. All in all, not a terrible second time through. Pair of base knocks. That run came around in that second time around via the RBI sac fly by Loma Vida, who's in the hole. This guy is 2 for 2, and he's about to be 3 for 3. That's a single into center field, trying to go first to third. That's Brown. He will get there without a throw. Throw comes into second, and just like that, Wilmington puts runners at the corner, still just 1 away, in a 1-1 ball game, top of the 5th.
Now batting second baseman, number 5, Cortland Lawson.
Jared McKenzie having himself a ball game. First pitch swinging and first pitch crushing on the ground. It's a 3 for 3 night for the Blue Rock center fielder. That puts runners at the corners. Jackson Appel giving out the signs to not only his corner infielders, but his middle. Tell you what, there's a good chance the Dash turn 2 right here. Lodis, we've seen what he can do at shortstop. We know what Santos can do at second. Looking for a ground ball out of the righty Zeal. He'll see Cortland Lawson. And the first pitch is called a ball just outside on a cutter. 1-0. Lawson's 1 for 2 this evening. Singled in his last at-bat, part of 3 straight singles in the 3rd inning. 1-0. Lifted high in the air. McConnell camps under it. There's going to be a tag by the runner at third, Brown. McConnell took an hour for that thing to land, but eventually makes its way to his glove. Runner tags, no throw to the plate. And that's the second run of the game for the Blue Rocks. It's on a sac fly by Cortland Lawson, and it makes it a 2-1 game with the visitors in front, top of the 5th. That thing was in the air for so long. Taking a look at the hang time, that was 6.5 seconds from the time it left the bat to the time it made it down to McConnell's glove. It was deep enough, though, obviously, to score the run. So with a runner on first and 2 gone, here comes Caleb Lomavita, already an RBI tonight. First pitch in the dirt, runner goes. Ball was spiked, so no throw down as McKenzie's now in scoring position. A 2-1 ball game here in the top of the 5th. On a very nice night for some baseball in the Triad. Gage Zeal not having a bad night by any means. 2 runs on 5 hits. A lone error by Winston-Salem. That error allowed the runner, who just came around to score on the bases, Marcus Brown, reached on an E6 to get the inning going. Here comes a 1-0 to Caleb Lomavita. It's high and inside for a ball, 2-0. Lomavita is 0 for 1, a ground out to Lodis at short. Also a sac fly RBI his last time up. Ahead in the count here, 2 balls, no strikes. A runner at second, that's Jared McKenzie. Good looking pitch. That was the sweeper at 81 miles an hour, 2-1. For Lomavita, the RBI is his 6th in his last 10. 10 hits in that stretch. 2-1. On the ground, right side. Couple of hops to Santos, who gloves it on shallow outfield grass, makes the throw to first in time. for the out. Ground out ends the inning, but not before the Blue Rocks jump back in front. We'll see if the Dash offense can find an answer on the other side of this break. 2-1 our score. Back in the ballpark on Pups in the Park night. Thirsty Thursday, something for the entire family inside Truist Stadium on Thursday nights, including some really good baseball. Max Wallace and Andrew Murphy
Hello.
alongside you as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Still working at Swan, and the first pitch to Miguel Santos is in there for a strike. He just made a nice play in the field to get us here. 2-1 ball game with the Blue Rocks in front. I love Pups in the Park night.
I do too.
It's easily, as the 0-1's in there for a called strike, 0-2, it is easily the easiest and best marketing strategy there is. No question.
Well, people watching is one thing, and you can do that just about anywhere.
Yep. 1,000%. There are people, a lot of them, in this world.
But dog watching,
as the 0-2's grounded foul,
I think is even more fun, like 10 times more adorable, probably
yeah.
100 times more adorable.
Yeah.
There's some good-looking dogs out here tonight.
We were just talking about it.
Yeah, it was, I think, maybe a Great Pyrenees or a Samoyed, maybe.
A big, fluffy dog.
It was a big, white, fluffy dog.
0-2 inside, 1-2.
Walking along the third base concourse. I think there's a golden retriever. It might be a yellow lab out on the outfield berm.
Yeah, right below the home run tracker.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to pull out the binoculars to confirm here.
1-2 is sent out that way, but it's in foul territory, and a couple of lucky fans out there, including a dog right in the mix, is going to get a souvenir. Count stays at 1-2 to Miguel Santos. 2-1 ball game. Blue Rocks in front.
Max can confirm that is a golden retriever.
There we go. One of, or I guess two we're talking about, of many dogs in the ballpark tonight. 1-2 is on the ground left side. Couple of hops to Cruz, who gloves it. Couple of shuffles and a fire to first. Wow, that thing was a laser beam over there, but he gets Santos out at the bag. The 6-3 is out number one. Maybe the best dog in the ballpark is who's collecting the bats tonight, and that's Murphy.
Great name.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah.
Huh? The goggles. I mean, come on.
Oh, my gosh. How can you not like Murphy the Bat Dog? You can't. You can't.
Hard not to love.
Here's Ryan Burrows. He takes a called strike, 0-1. It's hard not to love the Dash offense right now. They are really, really good. Tonight's a little bit of a hiccup. Just one run on 3 hits as the 0-1 is tapped foul, 0-2. But this week has been a combination of a lot of hits and a lot of homers. 3 in game 1 in terms of the home runs. They had 6 runs yesterday in their 6-3 win, and they're ahead in the series 2-0 over the Blue Rocks.
Well, the motif in these past 2 games.
0-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3.
The motif in these past 2 games has been 1 inning where they score at least 3 runs. In game 1, it was the 5th. They plated 3. On 1 swing of the bat, Alec Makarevich with his 11th home run of the season. And then it was 4 in the 8th inning last night. It was a string of 3 singles followed by an intentional walk.
First pitch to Sammy Z is a ball downstairs.
Bit of a miscue by the pitcher Montero at the time, whose error scored 2.
Yeah. And capitalizing on an error and in a late game situation is really crucial. 1-2 is launched. Deep right center field. Back go the outfielders at the track, at the wall, a leap and a grab. Crashing into the corner of the wall is De La Rosa. Shrugs his shoulders to McKenzie as he makes a whale of a play to cap the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 our score. We'll see you in the 6th. Sammy Zavala just missed a home run by inches, and I mean inches, after he was recorded out on a deep fly out to right. Started doing some push-ups behind the pitcher's mound. Hey, let's take it to the pitcher's mound. We've got a new pitcher, Jonathan Clark. Here's Johnny to take over for Gage Zeal in the top of the 6th. First pitch of the 6th is a swing and a miss over the top of a great-looking slider. Brandon Pimentel falls behind on the newest Dash pitcher. That's Jonathan Clark. Here comes an 0-1. On the ground right side should be the play for Makarevich, and he gloves and taps the bag for the first out of the inning. Second time Brandon Pimentel has been retired via the unassisted ground out to first. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Let's introduce you a little bit more to Jonathan Clark, shall we? A 1-0 record. This is his 10th appearance in 2025 with Winston-Salem after getting here as a free agent. 96 ERA. and a 118 whip for the righty. First pitch, a changeup in the dirt for a ball, 1-0 to TJ White. He's 0 for 2 today is TJ White. The Blue Rock left fielder looking to get their offense started here on the top side of the sixth. 2-1 ball game there in front, looking for their first win of the series. Good looking breaking ball. In there for a called strike right at the knees. 1-1. Clark turned 25 back on the 3rd of June as the 1-1 is a fastball lifted down the way and left. Charging hard as Burrows. He will run out of room. Into about the 3rd row down the left field line and out of play. It's just strike 2. But Clark in his last 5 has been really, really good. An inning in his last time, nothing but a strikeout. An inning in his time prior to that, absolutely nothing. Both those relief appearances came against Asheville. And the 1-2 here is scorched in the air to right center field. This is going to be down for a base hit. It'll be extra bases as it gets to the wall. TJ White hustling around first, slides his way into second, and he's there with a 1-out double. Blue Rocks have a runner in scoring position. Only 1 gone in the 6th. They lead 2-1.
Now batting, right fielder number 11, Jeremy De La Rosa.
Jeremy De La Rosa will try and bring him in. The right fielder's also 0 for 2. Let's close the book on Gage Zeal while we have a second. He goes 5 innings of work, gives up 5 hits, 2 runs, only 1 walk, which is really good, and just a strikeout. Passes it back to Jonathan Clark. He's in some trouble here with a runner in scoring position, just 1 gone. 2-1 ball game. Visitors, the Blue Rocks in front. Good looking slider taken for a called strike 1 to Jeremy De La Rosa. Talk about a good guy to have in a situation like this. With runners at 2nd or 3rd in scoring position, De La Rosa with a .467 average, 0-1. And make it 1-1. This one drifts a little bit too far outside. 7 hits, 2 of them doubles, 1 of them a homer. And all 8 of his runs batted in have come in moments just like this with runners at 2nd and 3rd. The 1-1. Beautiful breaking ball in there for a called strike 1-2. Jonathan Clark, like I mentioned, the Redwood City, California native, spent his collegiate days out there at San Jose State for 4 years as the 1-2 is fanned on him, missed strike 3. Phenomenal looking breaking ball from Jonathan Clark. He gets out of there with the K, and the second strikeout of the day for the Dash pitching staff is out number 2 in the top of the 6th. Man, was that good. Call it 16 inches of horizontal break, not to mention 8 inches of up to down movement. That's about as parabolic and horizontal a curveball can get. He makes it look really, really untouchable. Here's Gavin Dugas, first pitch. Right back to it, this time a slider. It's outside for a ball, 1-0. Designated hitter tonight is 0 for 1. He popped out to the first baseman in the 4th. It was a tremendous catch by the first baseman, Alec Makarevich. And with a runner on 2nd, he faces a 1-0 count. That one's in the dirt. Really good stop by Appel. Runner goes nowhere. TJ White stands at 2nd. But Makarevich, with his back to the infield, made a sliding grab out into shallow right. We have seen Alec Makarevich just make defensive masterpieces, especially in the last half of this season. Some at first, some at 3rd, and the 2-0 is taken for a called strike. Slider floats its way in there at 80. It's 2-1. But Alec Makarevich has certainly helped his stock tick in the upward direction with plays that he's made not only at the corners of the infield, but also what he's done in the batter's box. 2-1. Spiked in the dirt, past Appel off the net, easy 90 feet for TJ White. He's at 3rd. So the wild pitch puts a runner at 3rd base. And even worse news, it becomes a 3-1 count to Dugas. He's a guy who doesn't really need any help with runners in scoring position. 17 hits, 5 doubles, and a long ball. On the year, 45 hits. This one's in the dirt. He lost him to the walk. So the second free pass of the ball game recorded by the designated hitter for the Blue Rocks puts runners at the corners. 2 gone, top of the 6th. Blue Rocks in front by a run. 2-1. They scored in the top of the 5th inning. That came on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Cortland Lawson. Here's Marcus Brown. He was the guy who came around to score. Reached on an E6 to start his 5th. Swing and a miss at a first pitch. I think that's a cutter at 88 miles an hour, 0-1. 0 for 2 is Marcus Brown, the third baseman. Flew out to shallow left field into the shortstop's mitt his first time up. Next pitch is in the dirt. It's a ball. 1-1. With runners in scoring position, Marcus Brown pretty solid. 13 hits, a 241 average. On the year, just a 227 hitter with 61 base knocks. He awaits a 1-1. Here it comes. Ooh, good-looking breaking ball, just a bit high. I thought that was strike 2 for sure. I think Jonathan Clark did too. Alas, it becomes a 2-1 count. Runners at the corners. At third, it's TJ White. At first, it's Gavin Dugas. Here's Marcus Brown in the lefty batter's box, and he takes a called strike on the upper inside corner. Now it's Brown's turn not to be too content with that call. Shimmies his way out of the box, tries to shake it off. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, rather. Pair on in a 2-1 ball game. Top 6. As this one's lifted in the air, should be the play for Sammy Zavala. Calls everybody off and makes a catch with 2 hands right at the brim of his black cap. That'll retire the top of the 6th. 2 stranded in a 2-1 game. Dash offense needs some runs. We'll see if they can find it in the bottom of the frame. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 ball game as the Blue Rocks are in front of the Winston-Salem Dash. Winston-Salem would love some offense. They've got the guys to do it. 2, 3, and 4. Perez, Makarevich, and McConnell. First pitch to Gerald Perez is a breaking ball way upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Eric Swan goes back to work. It's been pretty good. Apart from the run, just 3 hits to his night. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Perez comes in 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. He was part of a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the bottom of the 1st. And the 1-1 is lifted high in the air, deep left field, giving chase is White into the corner. He will range and make a play as his feet meet the warning track, out number 1. One away in the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 ball game. Blue Rocks in front. They're also out hitting the Dash right now, 6-3. Winston-Salem is looking for their last hit since this guy was up. Alec Makarevich doubled in the bottom of the 3rd. That's the last time a Winston-Salem Dash batter has recorded a hit. First pitch to Amac. Takes a breaking ball outside for a ball, 1-0. Not only is Swan continuing to work on the hill, as this will be pitch 76. Swing and a miss, strike 1. There is nobody even stretching down the way and left. They really trust their guy on the hill. I don't blame them. 5 1/3, 2 strikeouts, and just the earned run. Here comes another 1-1. Swinging a foul ball, 1-2. Makarevich was so fired up after he recorded that RBI double, and how could you not be? For Amac, it was his 56th RBI of the year, and it was right after an at-bat where he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Here's a 1-2. It's in the dirt, kicks away from the catcher, but no swing by Amac, just 2-2. Talk about a guy who's swinging a good bat so far in the month of August. 9 hits over his last 10. Good enough for a 286 average. Chops a 2-2 foul. We'll do it again. It's an all-naturally finished bat, or an all-black finished bat for Alec Makarevich, but he hides a purple handle with two ice white batting gloves. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Ball kicks away from Lomavita. He picks it up, fires to first. It is in time for the strikeout and the throw down to first. A little bit of extra work for out number 2.
Now batting, the fielder number 27, Cole McConnell.
Here's a guy who's hungry, Cole McConnell. He comes to bat from the left side. With 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 ball game. The Blue Rocks in front. Winston-Salem looking to win their 3rd straight, win their 3rd of the series. Cole McConnell trying to get the offense where it needs to be. Called strike 1 at the knees on 81-mile-an-hour slider. McConnell 0 for 2 today. Pair of flyouts. One was right behind home plate as the 0-1 drifts outside, 1-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's Cole McConnell. Awaits on a 1-1, and he will swing and miss. 1-2. Louisiana Tech product was drafted in the 10th round in 2024. 0 for 3 a night ago. 1-2 to him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strike him out, throw him out as they throw him down to first and retire the side. Pair of Ks ends the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 our score. We head to the final 3. Andrew Murphy takes back over when we return. It's a happy ending here inside Truist Stadium on Harry Potter night. It is also Firework Saturdays inside Truist Stadium as the Dash win their 5th straight. Friday and Saturday there's fireworks. Hey, I get confused sometimes, but nonetheless, Winston-Salem wins their 5th in a row, 9-5 over Wilmington. They out-hit the Blue Rocks 9-5 as well. Let's break it down. Welcome inside Dash postgame right here on the Dash Radio Network and Bally Sports Live. It started very, very quickly for Winston-Salem. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st to jump out in front, and they looked really, really good offensively to start the night. 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st, 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, a run in each of the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th, and that was it. They did not need to score in the 6th, 7th, or the 8th in order to get the win. Again, they looked really, really good all night long. Some of the top performers, well, we got to wait for the top performers on the MILB side of things, but just some of the offensive top performers at first glance. Kyle Lodi's, another home run, his 2nd in pro ball, his 2nd of the week. He had a pair of runs scored as well as 3 runs batted in. TJ McCants had 3 hits to his name, a back-to-back multi-hit night for TJ McCants. 3 hits, 2 runs scored. He also had 1 strikeout. On the mound, Batista got the win. It was Meckley who got the loss, which makes sense. Alexander Meckley had a rough go of things tonight. It happens to the best of us, and again, he's a guy who's making just his 2nd start in high A. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them were earned, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, and a homer. On the other side, Batista, who got the win, went 2 innings of work, actually had probably one of the roughest outings by any Dash pitcher tonight. Went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned a walk and a strikeout. But again, because of the situation, because of when he entered the ballgame, he got the win. Lucas Gordon started this game on the hill for Winston-Salem and the lefty. He looked fantastic. A really good bounce-back performance for him. Just gave up the home run. The line looks a little worse than it is going to really figure. 4 1/3 innings of work, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Again, that 1 homer really his only blemish tonight. Now we can get you the top performers according to MILB TV. It starts with none other than Kyle Lodi's, who was 2 for 4, a homer, a triple, and 3 RBIs. Also scored twice. TJ McCants was a top performer. Hey, I'm 2 for 2 so far. 3 for 4, a triple, a double, 2 runs, and a stolen base. His 2nd of the week, his 2nd of the year. And on the other side, it's Kyle Lomavita. He was 2 for 4, a homer, had both the runs batted in on that long ball, and scored a pair as well. Lomavita was a really tough bat to get out tonight. He was the 3-hole hitter and the catcher for the Blue Rocks. And again, getting those RBIs, he was a guy who came in, came out, and really set the tone. So he was the 3rd and final top performer. Winston-Salem is playing with a lot of life. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They are playing some really good baseball. They are looking for a series sweep. It would be their first of the year. It would be their longest winning streak on the season if they could find it. If they can win tomorrow, they will do just that. They are playing with their postseason hopes, keeping those alive. We'll see if they can find it tomorrow. They have been playing some exceptional baseball lately. Carson Jacobs ended up sealing the deal in his 8th and 9th inning. He struck out 5 of the last 6 outs, and that is how we set the tone for tomorrow. Winston-Salem and the Blue Rocks will be back to round out the 6-game series. Again, that's tomorrow. First pitch is at 2. I'll be with you right here on the Dash Radio Network at 1:45. Cannot wait to see you. Cannot wait to see if the Dash can get a sweep. That's where we'll catch you next. For Andrew Murphy, I'm Max Wallace signing off for now. Dash win 9-5.